You call me a saint, but you know I'm a stranger, all willing and able to do what you want.
Deadly Tarantula Girl coming to you from my arachnarium. Welcome. Tonight I'm doing a basic care video on a species that I think pretty much everyone likes. Avicularia, also known as the Pinktoe. Let's take a look. Alrighty, this lovely lady here is a beautiful example of the black body, burgundy rump, and those adorable pink little toes. This species hails from Central America and northern South America, and they do live in tropical regions that do experience some pretty heavy-duty monsoons. They are arboreal, of course, tree-dwelling, so they need a narrower, taller enclosure with something to climb on, such as cork bark or something like that. Some people do offer them a water dish, others do not. I don't give most of my animals water dishes. What I do is I like to water one area of the enclosure more heavily, and that works very well. So with this species, you want to periodically nearly flood the bottom of the enclosure and then allow it to dry out almost completely. In between those times, you can just slightly mist the sides of the container so the animal can go and drink if they feel that they need to drink, although they do get some of their moisture from the prey that they eat. And so even if they don't have access to a water dish, as long as they're being properly fed, they are still often quite hydrated. This animal likes to be in a humidity of about 70 to 85%, although like I said, it's best to water them and then allow it to dry out. They are a faster growing species and one with a relatively shorter lifespan compared to something in like the Brachypelma genus. The males live for around 2 to 3 years and the females live around 5 to 6 years. They are not massive producers, but they don't have teeny tiny egg sacs either. Although these are the general average lifespans, I've actually had some live 10 or almost 15 years. So you never know what your animal's gonna do. They are ambush predators. They do build very intricate webs that they use to tell if there is any prey nearby. And it's actually very fun to watch them web up and to watch them hunt for their prey. A lot of people prefer enclosures that open on the side because they often web up the top of the enclosures, although I haven't had a lot of trouble with that in the past. They do need more ventilation than a lot of your typical arboreals because they do need that area to dry out. And so what I do is when I'm building them an enclosure, I add additional air holes around the top and middle of the enclosure. This animal is not quite as gentle as its cousin, the Carabina versicolor, which was previously also an Avicularia. Fun fact, this was one of the very first species described by Linnaeus back in the 18th century, and it has been renamed since then. One of the coolest things about this species, I feel, is raising them up because they do a complete 180 as far as their coloration. So as spiderlings start to color up, their bodies and legs are pink with black toes, and then as they grow up, obviously, those colors reverse, which is just a wild, amazing thing that nature does. Another fun fact about this animal is that if you freak them out, they actually will jump vast distances, so you have to be prepared for that. They can get hurt, so you do need to be very careful. And their other defense is that they love to shoot their little poop guns at you, and so that's always exciting. So I hope you enjoyed this video on Avicularia. I do want to congratulate Scout, Mrs. Feely, for getting her new Avic very recently. I love that the feelies are getting involved in more tarantulas. I think you guys are amazing, and big shout out to all of you out there who are collecting and watching these tarantula videos. I love you guys. Another thing is, I just finished reviewing the Tarantula Keeper cards that arrived to me from overseas, and that video came out yesterday. So I will link that down below. Make sure to check out that Kickstarter because that is a very cool product and one that I am very excited about. Many thanks to Danny for sending me out those cards. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon.
You think I'm a thinker, but I'm just a singer. All messy and pretty, just making believe. Boy, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling. Down to obscurity, don't let me ever be this alone. I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling. Shouldn't be trusting me, I could be making it all up, you know.